Over the last decade, ride-sharing apps have soared in popularity. Hundreds of millions of people using Uber and Lyft every year, entering a car with a stranger in order to get to their destination. Passengers have called for better safety and security protocols, but what about the drivers using their own personal cars to earn cash? In an investigation spanning more than 2 years, our Kyra Phillips spoke to women behind the wheel who say they've experienced harassment, belittlement, and even assault by passengers in their own cars. We want to warn you, some of these details in this story are difficult to hear.
Sydney Childs is the creative type, a USC college grad with a master's degree in fine arts. She drives for Uber to make ends meet while pursuing nursing and still making time to write.
I started to realize that, oh my God, you can make money doing this and actually thrive.
It's like the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
But that feeling disappeared the night she says she was attacked.
I don't feel safe still. I feel nervous when people get in my car.
And Sydney is not alone. Rideshare apps have been on the market for more than a decade now, changing the way many of us get around and get by financially. And that success has also come with safety concerns.
I had a man reach around and massage my shoulders. I also had a man describing to me how large his penis was.
Drivers are facing humiliation
Let me tell you something, you lost.
and harassment.
I've been skimped for my life twice. I've been propositioned. I've been offered money to show body parts.
Along with horrific attacks, even murder.
Arizona police are trying to figure out why a man stabbed and killed a pregnant Lyft driver.
In June, Uber released its second ever safety report for 2019 and 2020, revealing 3,824 reports of sexual assault and misconduct. Nearly half of those assaults carried out by the passengers. Our investigation led us to dozens of women who told us the companies they work for did little to prevent or prepare them for dangerous situations they could face. And when something bad did happen, these women, including Sydney, say the companies did not do enough to help.
So when you signed up for Uber, did they say, Sydney, we want to warn you, you could be harassed, sexually harassed, and if that happens, this is what you do?
Oh, no, and no.
Did you ever imagine that it would happen?
And I never even thought about it.
Until the night in 2019, she picked up a drunk passenger.
And he comes and instantly gets into the front seat, pushes his seat all the way back, leans back, pulls his cap over his head, and goes to sleep.
But as Sydney approaches the drop-off point, he awakens.
I typically drive with my hand on the gear, and he just like puts his hand on my hand.
She asks him to stop, but he doesn't.
He was like on top of me and had pinned my arms like that and is like kissing me, and with his other hand is like trying to like take my belt off and my pants and stuff. And I just kept saying, no, it's like, stop, please stop. And he was able to get into my underwear, and I mean, he digitally raped me.
Sydney says she continued to put up a fight and that eventually he gave up.
So then he finally just exhausted himself and went over to the other seat, and he leans back in the seat like this and he goes, can you finish me off? And I just said no.
After he left the car, Sydney filed this report with the police and immediately reported the attack to Uber. We reached out to Uber, and according to its spokesperson, what Sydney experienced is extremely horrific, and the rider's actions were inexcusable. As soon as she reported the incident to us, we deactivated the rider's account and assisted law enforcement with their investigation. Uber also telling us it has rolled out new safety features through its app, including live ADT agents available 24/7 by text or phone call if riders and/or drivers are feeling uneasy and want extra security. Zuina Belt paid for college, driving for Lyft and Uber in Portland, Oregon.
He was intoxicated and it was late.
She too says she experienced sexual assault.
He sat in the front where you're sitting. I was just focusing on getting him home in one piece, and he grabbed me as I was driving just out of the blue.
But she grabbed her mace.
And he listened and he got out. I found a gas station up the street, and that's when I called Lyft Critical Response and 911.
Zuwina says Lyft deactivated his account with no guarantee he couldn't simply start a new one with a new username. Frustrated, she turned to Facebook, launching a group for women drivers to share their experiences.
It was pretty much weekly occurrence where you would hear some kind of story about a woman that's being assaulted or attacked or harassed.
So Zuwina, along with other women drivers, began offering safety tips online. Zuwina showed us her routine in person.
This is very essential, but my dash cam. This has night vision.
Got your mace?
Some mace, yeah, and this can just go in like the side door. This is a case for the stun gun.
Oh, you wouldn't know it was a stun gun.
Well, yeah, until you...
Okay.
Then you know.
Those non-lethal weapons are actually against Lyft's policy, but Zuwina says it's a rule she had to break for her own safety.
At the end of the day, you know, your life and your safety are in your own hands.
Lyft provided training videos when Zuwina was driving in 2016, but she says it wasn't enough and felt that passengers received more protection than the women behind the wheel.
Passengers don't have to upload a photo, you know, they don't have to use their real name. You know, so they just want to make a very convenient solution for passengers.
Lyft telling ABC News the incident described is unacceptable, whether on the Lyft platform or anywhere in society. When it was reported to us, we reached out to the driver to offer our support, permanently removed the rider from the Lyft community, and were in touch with law enforcement to assist with their investigation. Zuwina graduated college with a degree in social work and no longer works for Lyft or Uber. As for Sydney's case, her attacker ended up in court, pleading guilty to aggravated battery in a public place. He was sentenced to 30 months probation.
Uber is not going to be a viable option for me for the long term, unless they really change the way that they handle their safety policies.
Stronger safety policies, women drivers like Sydney say, should give them the protection they deserve.
Both Lyft and Uber tell ABC News they are committed to improving their safety to protect both their passengers and their drivers. Our thanks to Kyra Phillips for that investigation.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.